Get ready for news and views from Lubbock, Texas, USA. What's going on and real talk with people who move and do things. This is the Focus LBK Show with your host, Robert Jenkins.
Hey, what's good, LBK? This is Robert Jenkins coming to you with Season 3, Episode 140 of the Focus LBK Show. Man, let me ask y'all a question. Don't it seem like this whole data center issue is about to come to a head? Man, it's getting pretty serious. They want to build these things everywhere. And regular people don't want to see them build things everywhere. Not these data centers. That's what the crux of the argument seems to be to me. That's the breakdown, one side versus the other. As far as I can tell, what they really is, it looks like to me, is that on one side you got some billionaires and titans of industry and tech bros and all them. They think that AI is essential to national security and basically the survival of the United States, I guess, the way they be putting it. For example, old Kevin O'Leary, I think his name Kevin O'Leary. I don't watch too much TV, but I think he was on Shark Tank or something like that back in the day. He's a billionaire. Was on there with Donald Trump on that show. Anyway, he's saying that, he's about to build one of the largest data centers ever. It's going to be like the size of Manhattan. Yeah, it's going to be the size of a borough. It's going to take, I think they were saying, about as much energy as a borough or a city, and it's about as much water. I think that's what it was on Tucker Carlson's where I saw it. But the point I'm getting at is the leftist position on this issue seems to be occupied by billionaires and tech bros, and they are utterly for it. And they say, if you against it, you some kind of Chinese agent. Well, what they really say is if you against it, you are being influenced by Chinese propaganda, which is another way of saying you are an unwitting agent of the Chinese. You're doing the bidding of the Chinese. You've been brainwashed is what he is trying to say. That's what Kevin Leary trying to say. The billionaire side. They think they have to do this, and if you're against it like most of us are, something's wrong with you. You must be being controlled by the Chinese. That's my understanding of the one side of the issue. And I'm not even sure it makes sense to call it the left side or the right side. On one side, you got billionaires, like I just talked about. And on the other side, you got regular people like you and me that I've actually talked to and had conversations with and done research and reading online to get a feel for how people seem to feel, right? And it seemed like regular people on the other side of this debate, we don't want nothing to do with data centers. We don't want nothing to do with AI. AI, that's why they have to bundle it with everything you get. AI comes built in. You don't have the option to say you don't want it. They forcing it down your throat. They think it's vitally important for us to have AI. And consequently, they want us to think that it's vitally important to have AI. So now we got to have data centers because you need data centers to drive AI. That's what they trying to paint it like. But I don't think the average person is of that opinion. I don't think they care about that. I think they care more about their health. I think they care more about their property, their communities. Yeah, and they're talking about environmental health. Man, please. From what I understand, these data centers are just terrible as far as the environment is concerned. And I'm not even talking about just things like forever chemicals and oil and loud noise and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all there from what I understand. All kind of, not oil, but things that leach into the soil is there. They have things that leach into the soil that leak out of these plants, these data center facilities. They don't employ nobody. They only need a handful of actual employees to run. All it is a bunch of servers, a bunch of computers. All you got to do is have a small team to run around and check them computers, make sure the thing's running. So they don't bring jobs. What do we want to do, build something that big for that don't bring but a handful of jobs? But it's going to take up the energy of a city and the water of a city. How you going to put something like that on West Texas when water is one of our most vital concerns? In fact, it's probably the most vital concern out here. We're in a semi-arid region. That means it's dry. That means we're almost desert. It ain't got no water. We don't get no rain like other places do. Why would you have something that uses water resources then? Why would you be planning on building something like that? Why would you have something that is going to use another city's worth of electricity when you couldn't even keep the power on back in that cold snap we had back in, what was that, 2021, 2020, something like that. Well, you can't even keep the power on in some cities, but they talking about building more of these things. See, this is how you know there seems to be, or at least this is how I think I know that there is something else to this. These data centers are not about AI, so we can keep up with cat videos. So we have better cat videos and stuff like that. No. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about. I'm just going by what it looks like, what their motives could be. It seemed like it's something to do with surveillance on us, utter control of money, which will be electronic currency. That's how they get that control over you. Surveillance, physical and auditory, visual surveillance, physical and audio visual surveillance. It's about surveillance. It's about control. That's the kind of things that these people are always interested in. So just from observing, that's what it seems to be about now, because they're talking about making central bank digital currencies. The dollar will be electronic only, no physical cash anymore. If they do that, they can turn your money on and off. Just like they can turn your lights on and off from downtown. Don't even have to come to your house. Pretty much anything you got, they can turn it off from the source, not from having to come out to your house. So what that means is they probably have that same ability. They will have that same ability when it comes to money, if they make money electronic. That's one of the main issues I think they want to do here. If I had to guess, if somebody asked me, they trying to make electronic money and set up a backbone where they can track you and all your data and all your stuff to the nth degree. And not just you, but everybody. So that's one of the things these data centers will probably be used for. I would imagine that's what it looked like. And knowing their history, total control over your mind, body, and soul. For real. I ain't, that sound like exaggeration, but it ain't. I tell you what, they say that the billionaires, the people that want to build these things, say it's communist Chinese propaganda to make us be against this. I think that is utterly false. And the reason I think so, I've seen many articles online or mentions of it, that these items, the communist Chinese, they don't have anything to do with what we're seeing here. The communist Chinese, this is not no communist Chinese propaganda. There's no communist Chinese propaganda right here in Lubbock, Texas. I sincerely doubt it. I mean, what y'all think? Y'all think we being influenced by Chinese propaganda some kind of way? I ain't seen nothing. I haven't really just seen that much stuff up until right now. This little moment right here, about 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe a couple of months when they first mentioned that data center that they want to put on the east side. But after that, it just spiked because people became aware of what seems to be an encroaching threat. It's an approaching doom. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be something that we cannot be for just as regular individuals, because we don't stand to gain anything from it. We don't get no money from it. Our prices for electricity and water will almost certainly go up. It's going to strain the grid, which means they're going to have to drive up the costs of maintaining the grid. It just seemed like it's going to do nothing but negative things. And then we don't even know what the health consequence is going to be. I told you they got this noise called tonal noise. And what it is, it ain't really something you can hear. It's something that you feel in your body, like all your parts where, like when the weather finna change, sometimes your knees hurt or your elbows or whatever. This is what I hear people say. I'm so young, my stuff don't feel like that. But that's what people say, older people say. You can feel the weather change coming in your bones, right? Well, that's what this noise do, this tonal noise. It's you don't really hear it. You feel it in your bones, just a discomfort and an unease. Oh, man, that's some old psychological warfare weapons right there. But I bring that up because there was a story out there, article out there, mainstream news, regular TV, saying that Google had built a data center somewhere, Idaho, Iowa. I can't remember where it was. But the residents could hear a unsettling noise, and they could even hear it in their own homes. And I don't even think it was fully turned on yet. You know what I'm saying? That's unacceptable. Anything that infringe on your quality of life as an individual without your consent is unacceptable. from government, unacceptable moves from government. We are supposed to be telling government what to do. They're not supposed to be telling us what to do. They're not supposed to be having closed door meetings where they put out a funny RSVP invitation. Look like they sent it out right when it was already full. You know what I'm saying? That's what it seemed like. I heard some people say. That's the way it looked to me when I saw it. I say, I just now heard about this and it's already full. That seems, see, this is why people don't trust it. This is why people are like, hey, this don't feel good to me. I feel like something finna happen to me. The sword of Damocles hanging above my head in the form of a data center. That's what she said. Nah. I remember at city council meeting a while back when they had that whole discussion about the data center. One of the things they was talking about is they was like, this is a closed loop data center, the water source, meaning it's not a constant draw on the water supply. They say it's going to be contained like a radiator in a vehicle. And in case you don't know, it just means it's a loop. So the water gets hot. It goes by the data center. It takes the heat away. Then it goes outside or something or underground and gets cooled. And it comes back up and it does a cycle. It's a closed loop. So what it's saying is they don't have to put water in there but one time. It's a lot of water, hundreds of thousands of gallons, which some people might say is a drop in what we do a year, but it's still an added expense, so to speak, an added burden. So even if it is a closed loop system, that's an added burden no matter what. So that's another negative. Like I was talking about, we don't know nothing about what kind of chemicals these things are going to put off in addition to this tonal noise. There's so many unknowns about this. And the unknowns are becoming rapidly known because people are having these built all around them and they're reporting these things. The water table gets messed up. The drinking water can get messed up. Sounds and weird feelings and sounds in the air. Chemicals and smells and stuff like that. They're going to put it. So the one that they was talking about putting in Lubbock at City Council that time a few months ago, as I recall, and I'm going to try to dig this up. It's online. It's publicly available stuff. I think we should be able to find it. And they was talking about putting it on the east side over there. I got the impression that it was going to be like by the airport or back over off 289 out in the country. But the point is, there's homes around that. Not very many, but there's some homes around that. And we don't even know. They talking about they're going to have these giant gas turbine generators. So big old huge electricity generators, diesel, constantly putting out diesel fumes probably. Could be natural gas. Is still going to be putting environmental toxins out. You notice how the climate change group ain't nowhere to be found. Where are they? That's another tell to me. To me, the fact that till just yesterday, they was telling you how the world was going to end in about 30 days. So I'm exaggerating slightly, but you know what I'm talking about. The doom and gloom from climate change. That was like 2 days ago. Now, metaphorically speaking, they done turned on a dime. They ain't even talking about that. You know, they talking about using additional natural resources, non-renewable natural resources. They all for that. They even talking about bringing back nuclear. Matter of fact, I think they're building nuclear plants. So in other words, they done just shifted their whole policy on a dime. You don't do that because you change your mind. You do that because you see an opportunity for money and power. That's my suspicion about the whole thing. That's how I feel about it. What are we about 14 minutes in? Look like I've already kind of just stated my case there. I don't feel like these data centers are in any way, form, or fashion beneficial to anybody in Lubbock or anybody in the South Plains for that matter. We got a lot of things in store. I think this is going to continue to be an issue. This ain't going away, and so we're not going to go away with it. We're trying to get some things together right now that'll hopefully make a difference and an impact, some stories together and stuff. I don't want to speak too much about it, but this right here seems to be a very important issue. LBK, Lubbock, Texas, USA. I'm talking to y'all. This is a very important issue, and it's nonpartisan. All normal people that I've seen online in real life at the barbershop, like literally at the barbershop the other day, yesterday, we were talking about this. Everybody in there was like, nope. Everybody at the store the other day, nope. Everybody over my brother's house, nope. Everywhere I go, nobody is for this. But yet it just keeps going on and on and on. In fact, it's gathering steam. It's not just continuing, it's increasing in its scope and intensity and its attack, its angle of attack. Trying to say it's getting worse. It's getting more intense is what it's getting. Because they are pushing. They are letting you know that, hey, we going to put these in and y'all ain't going to be able to say nothing about it. Well, in, I think it was it Illinois, Iowa, some little town up there, they literally voted out their whole city council that pushed this through that they didn't want. These data centers, they pushed the data center through, man. These people voted the whole city council out. Let's see if I can find that and link it down below. Yeah, people are all over against this, and it don't matter what they are, left or right. The Washington Redskins, the Dallas Cowboys, Kerry Von Erich and Kabuki, Andre the Giant. It's all you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It don't matter where you lie on that political spectrum. We're not being fooled by the stuff they trying to stage right now. Nobody likes it. Left or right, everybody hates it. The Chinese, if they was trying to do this on purpose, they wouldn't make everybody hate it. They would make it a partisan issue to where one side could push against the other side. That's how you get things. That's how you create chaos. The fact that this is all on one side, we all negative, on that side they all positive, I don't think that could be propaganda. I think that's organic groundswell feeling from the people of the world. Not just LBK, not just Lubbock, the world. You know what I'm saying? All these people. Everybody I done talked to, everybody I'm aware of, everybody online that I've been able to find. All comments that I read on various different sites of different political persuasions. Man. Yeah. When you see lopsided sentiment like that, it's all the elite on one side and all the people on the other side. I don't see the use of somebody arranging a situation like that. I could be wrong. It could be it could be Chinese propaganda. It just don't feel like the right thing, because everybody here that I can see anywhere of any persuasion, political, sexual, whatever, everybody's against it. Or 90-something%. I bet it's 90% against it on our side. On their side, it's 100% for it. And again, folks, they side ain't left or right. They side, in this case, seems to be billionaires. And they seem to be tying this, it's really tied to some kind of military and intelligence objectives, is what I believe. It's not tied to they ain't building these data centers so you can have better dancing cat videos, dancing like Michael Jackson. Those are cute. I sometimes get sucked down the rabbit hole myself with that weaponized information, the weaponized content they be spitting. But guess what? I guarantee they ain't doing this because of no cat videos. They doing this, if the fact that they doing this and dedicating billions of dollars to doing it, if not trillions, Trump is behind it. Democrats are behind. Everybody seems to be behind this. Up there, they seem to be for it. Down here, everybody here seem to be, no, don't bring that around here, man. We don't want none of that. And they like, yeah, you gonna get some of that. I was reading an article the other day. I think it was from the little town, was it Ruidoso, somewhere up in New Mexico. Or Nevada, I think it was New Mexico. The electricity company up there and just told the people that live up there, hey, y'all, next year we finna be selling all of our electricity to the data center they about to build. So regular people won't have no power. Y'all got to figure it out. We don't know where you can go, but you won't have electricity no more. What? You live in a place and a data center comes in and takes your electricity? Oh, I sure hope I can find that article so I can link it down below. That's unconscionable. And this is the kind of thing that they seem to do lately. They start wars without even consulting you. They lock society down over mysterious, apparently not actually in existent viruses. I'm going through it on this whole virus thing, y'all, man. I'm deep into the literature. Talking about terrain versus virus theory versus terrain theory, you know what I'm saying? Or germ theory versus terrain theory. I've been reading about that for a while, man. It's a tangent. but the way they use it is at the heart of some of the operations. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's interesting to know. Anyway, I'm just over here rambling right now. I think y'all can tell what I'm trying to say. This thing is coming to a head, I believe, and I don't think it's going to go away. And I think it's going to I think we're going to see some stuff locally. So keep your head up, your eyes peeled, and your head on the swivel, as I say, and be ready to do what you can. I mean, that's how you defeat things like this. You jump in and lend a hand where you can lend a hand, and it ain't got to be no partisan stuff in this, because, like I said, all the reports I've seen on this indicate that like almost everybody is opposed to this on the regular people end. I don't think that could be engineered. I think it'd be hard to engineer that. And COVID was one of the most successful societal engineering programs that they've ever run, and they still couldn't get but about 60% of the people or 65% of the people to take the vaccine. It's still 25, 35, 40% of people did not take that vaccine. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to talk about that. And like that meme say, here we are in the 6th year after the deadly pandemic, surviving just fine. Y'all seen that meme? That's funny. Yeah. It's funny to me anyway. What ain't funny is these data centers. We got to, like I say, jump in there and do what you can do without considering any partisan politics. The founding fathers used to call partisan politics, they used to call political parties factions. They weren't called political parties. They were called, think about that. Political party might make it sound like it's a celebration where you can go be with like-minded people. But they called them factions. Political parties were called factions. And the factions sound like two warring little parties trying to overtake one another, don't it? That's why they changed it, political parties. But that's what they are. They're two little factions that fight each other for control. Now, guess what? They fighting each other for control, but they not fighting each other on your behalf. They fighting to capture us, to keep us enthralled, to keep us in bondage, debt slavery, and wage slavery. If they unleash our potential, man, they can't let that happen, because we can make things happen on our own if they stop with all the dirty tricks and the surveillance and the constant efforts to undermine the economy to benefit at our expense, is what it looks like to me. Coming from a libertarian perspective on that, conservative but libertarian, not left or right, concerned about freedom, not what the party say. That's what, to me, that's what the simplest way to explain libertarian is right there. Libertarianism. You have to libertarianism. That's the simplest way to explain libertarianism. It's not worrying about political parties, but worrying about the principles of freedom. It don't matter, because see, this is the heart of how they play us. I'm trying to tell you, man, they always pick issues that divide you and make them national issues, even when they ain't. Abortion, if they'd have left abortion alone, most people were at the point where it's just like, I'm against it, but don't be using my money for it. A lot of people are like that. If you want to do it, that's fine, but it shouldn't have nothing to do with me. I shouldn't be implicated in your decision, and I shouldn't be on the hook to finance your decision. That's the objection. You know what I'm saying? I find it morally repugnant, but if you like it, I love it for you. But anyway, I think that's I'm just thinking out loud here. I think that's the most succinct definition I can formulate of what being a libertarian is. And that's the perspective that I'm coming at this from, the libertarian perspective. I'm saying I'm not worrying about the politics of it. I ain't worried about the left or right. I'm worried about the freedom of it. Does it increase my freedom? Does it increase our freedom as people, just regular people, is what I'm really trying to say with that. Then if it don't benefit us by increasing our freedom as regular people, then we don't want it. So stop trying to do it. Right. I tell you what, I think that's pretty much what I got to say on the subject. I know that was very even keeled and you can't really tell where I stand on the issue. But nonetheless, if you feel the same way, I urge you to get in where you fit in and do what you can, regardless of your political persuasion. If you against it, Jump in against it. And by all means, if you for it, jump on in it. It's going to be another one of them situations where you're looking back in 5 or 10 years saying, oh, I wish I hadn't done. To me, they just can't possibly be up to anything good. Anyway, LBK, I think I've said what I came to say, and I hope that the message went through loud and clear. Not my message, but God's message, or whatever he wanted to transmit with that. I hope that came out. So, having exhausted all possibilities here for further conversation, I think I'll just bid y'all peace.